my fine feathered friends. It's a Tin Man here with a tall profile. There's a reason for that, and it's because I'm just going to be talking for a moment. Here comes a hiccup or a burp. Get those intestines sitting properly. I'm just having my lunch, breakfast I should say, while I do this chit chat. Hopefully my phone's not going to decide to fall. I'm going to readjust it here. I'll try not to show you the food I'm eating. You're not too jealous at a lousy bagel from a great steak tea place. I'll probably cut this off now, right? Actually, they should be supporting me, shouldn't they? Tell you one thing, their camp, where they just built a new camp, it's going to be surrounded by them. I guess I better talk louder for you. Take out my earplug so I can register my volume a little bit better. Okay, so this is a get to know Tin Man kind of video and what I've been up to for the last, let's just call it 6 to 7 weeks, okay? What have I been up to is I've been up to a lot of research. The day it began, I got a gift of where I walked onto his site, and I could just tell that it was, that there were some kind of bipedal being, creature, however you want to look at it, living on these grounds there. This is unrehearsed and stuff, other than, you know, when you just think of different things. Oh, I should say that, or I should say that, and I'm never doing it. So now I'm trying to bring a whole bunch of things. So I'm just going to kind of start near the beginning and just kind of try to throw out some key things to get, you know, even my followers, the people who follow me and stuff, it's not like they're up on all of my information, but they respect me probably enough that they would like to have a bigger view of it. So, in part, that's why I'm doing that. I am going to keep this window open, though I do need some airflow. So, here we go. So, bear with me. You're going to probably be here for a little bit of a ride, so excuse me, if you don't want a bit of a, you know, if it's too early in the day or something to watch a longer video, then come back. Then that'll give me 2 hits. Remember, thumbs ups, guys, because if you appreciate and agree with me, this tells more people, and that is what I'm about on my videos, and I think you guys are kind of seeing that. You know, my computer's been down for a while, so I haven't even been able to get to, like, a library to use the computer so I can make all my stuff, you know, eventually maybe be making money. You know, I'm only at 100,000 views, so in total, so it's not like I'm making money or anything, I mean, but, you know, like some people out there say, it eventually it gives them money to help pay for their, you know, their utilities that they use for their show, let's put it that way, yeah. Anyways, back to that day, I was given a gift that I was able to read the terrain. I was able to read the language of the terrain. When we're walking down a road, we don't walk down the middle of the street if there's lines on the street. If there's a sidewalk over there. If there's a gravel pathway. If there's a dirt pathway. You know, how we do that is with our mind. We've trained ourselves, we've learned, we've been taught all this kind of stuff to pick up on that stuff and realize, okay, this isn't the right spot to be walking. It's not a pathway for a person, a pedestrian to be walking, so I'm going to walk on this pathway instead, and you pick your pathways. Well, guess what? We're not the only creatures that create pathways. Raccoons do, mice do, worms do, okay? And Sasquatch do, and Bigfoot do. Well, why I receive it and understand it as a gift is because I walked into their house. Their whole thing was there. They can even eat there and stuff. It's not where they probably get their big amount of vegetation. I would say for sure they don't. And when it comes to meat, whatever kind of eating they're doing on that end of it, they wouldn't be getting much in there. Okay, there's tons of information that just keep popping into my head, and others, like I want to throw out other things, but I just got to stay on my the storyline here. So anyways, I studied that harshly for the next couple of weeks. Within that couple of weeks, I landed my first real come together kind of visitation kind of thing. It was like they had a chance to split. They didn't split. I stopped. I seen them. I stayed there. They could have all at the sudden just split out of there however they do on their own thing, but they didn't. They waited a good amount of time, so I had a conversation with them. People get that, people don't get that. Eventually you're going to be able to see it better when I have better tools for the trade to show you guys better, or better contacts, okay? And then you'll see that that's all proof. Everything you're going to be able to see images. If you discount those images and those movements from the images and so on and so forth, and the noises on one of my video and stuff, if you discount that, then, I can't help you anymore. But if you can come together in it and bring an image that you haven't ever seen before, mouths you haven't seen before, eyes you haven't seen before, sounds you haven't heard before, and do things like that. And what you have to do is you just bring all your human activity that you have had action with, and you have to create the look. And that's part of the reason why people get different looks all the time, is because until it's on that photo that's going to be, oh, that's a gorilla, or oh, that's a chimpanzee, or that's a Sasquatch. So anyways, we're back to, I'm running off here a bit, sorry about that. So we go back there. I studied it well. On one of my videos, I even recall saying to you guys, I'm going to have to go out there in the back and start looking and trying to figure out how to track them. I remember that day. I remember that. It's on video, whether I put it up or not. I think it is. It was kind of, it's in that area where, around that time, the tree that is fallen down and has all those notchings on it about every tree limb, every couple of feet, the tree limb is carved out of there by however they do their carving. They might be able to do carving with teeth and claws, but they do have something razor sharp that they use in their carving. So anyways, and right after, it might have even been that day or the real close, I just decided to take one of my, a different alternative route. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to pull in the whole story here, but I just remember starting a little sequence of realizing, holy cow, I'm able to figure out, based on information that I know, what they like, and certain tree signs, and even the more tree signs that are even more invisible and stuff, but clear to a tracker. That was just, I was noticing it more and such. So anyways, I found a whole bunch more places. And I have found another habitat, what I call another habitat. So what the habitat is, and one habitat is from where I sit right now. One habitat is that way over the river, that way, say as the crow flies, I'm going to go with 2 to 3 miles. As the crow flies to that one over there, I'm going to say, because so now I'm back on this side of the river, but then I have to go over the dam system and everything for that one, so I'm going to go with that one, I don't know, but 10 to 15 miles as the crow flies there. So, yeah. I want you to realize, or not realize, but I'm going to let you know so you can realize that I have a condition that's tinnitus, and it's pretty severe. Just screams all the time. And since this has erupted, this thing, and my worrisome with it, my symptoms are just bugging me all the time, right? So, and sometimes if my sleeping is off and all that kind of stuff, I'm much grumpier, and sometimes I'm doing much better, let's put it that way. Anyways, so, and I have this other thing called hyperacusis. You can look them up. basically with those things, and I have muscle and structural bone irritation, upsetness, breaking down, falling apart, getting old, whatever, but it's all an injury-caused kind of stuff where I got a number of injuries, and they just now hate me. Anyways, so let's get around that. So I've gone into a lot of our mountains. I gotta see like I'm sitting right now and looking west, east, looking south, north here, and what I see is a lot of cloudy day, but a lot of mountains are in behind there, and I've checked a whole skedaddle of places, and I find all my signs. I find those very particular cutting signs. You have to focus in on the cutting signs. I've so much focus into those because that is going to help the researchers. Everybody's, I just want to see a picture of Sasquatch and stuff, and it's like, whatever, so do I. But I don't want one tearing my head off to try to get the picture. But so instead, a lot of my focus is gonna be where the researchers will break down my stuff into categories it better. I haven't gotten around to being able to do that. I'm one person. Categorizing it better so we can set stuff up for being under the research category or whatever type thing. The tree markings are covering tens of thousands of acres, people. Like thousands of acres over there is where I found it. Thousands of acres over here, I've seen it. Thousands of acres right over on the other side of the river, right there at the river, I have found that marking, and that's the one that's hanging out over, it's just a dumb piece of wood where a beaver would want to climb. Let's just put it that way. And now the other are high. Look at my teething tree. It's a similar, if not exact pattern of different patterns. Like they use a multitude of patterns. Like if you look at their technique of carving up, especially that one wet, I hope you can see it well, where the carving marks and stuff, that's on one of them. Like I even said, oh, what's a little bitty baby or whatever with beady, whatever kind of beaver teeth, I say on this one, and it's a sarcastic comment about what's gone on there. That artist, that carver, just really got into the character of their wood and carved it up, like that. I gotta check my time. Time's gonna be okay. I gotta pick up a daughter and take her to her ortho appointment. And this is the first being dad. Really. Where I'm kind of dedicated and have this time all set up, and we're gonna hang out, and she'll do her thing, and she'll give me as much time as she has on her schedule, and we'll hang out for that little bit. But tomorrow, yeah, well, that's that. But anyway, so, yeah. So right now I'm in a pretty good spirits. I'm going to see my daughter. My kids, a hug from my children, seeing my children, on a human base like this, face to face, and you're seeing and you get the full lapse of energy. That's even like I tell them, even my 15-year-old son, I even tell him that, just to stop, give you a hug, get in my truck, drive away. That energy fulfillment is so fulfilling to this human being. It really is. Look at the energy fulfillment. I'm out here searching around and being in the danger element of it. And you guys may be thinking, oh, this guy's faking it. He's not trembling enough. He's not. Yeah, I'm scared shitless in many of my occasions. But I like to also try to control my fear. Isn't my truck steaming? No, it's just the hood. I like to control my own fear. For starters, if you research my irritating symptoms, they're all head and neck and nerved. We got a lot of nerve system in the starting of our brain, and I got my C1 and C2 connection right in there. Is mucked right up. I got a loose fitting like that. Is just one of the issues that I got in my neck. So, yeah, so I got heavy stuff too, and I got things I'm missing out on for this, and I shouldn't be doing it in some ways. But like I said, I think it was to my oldest daughter I said it. I said, I believe this thing and know it is so true that how can I walk away and not be still doing something? Like, I actually want to run around naked like a fool and say, look at me, everybody. So everybody's eyes go for a moment and everybody can make their own decision on if they're going to think about this or not. I talked to a parks guy yesterday and I said, dude, okay, fine. If you're not even picking up one of these chips of wood that you find very peculiar to not be beaver, and you're not going to pick one of them up and take it back to one of your superior officers or something like that, get a question rolling around in his head. And in a year's time, if things, when you're realizing this is coming alive, and if things aren't going well and stuff, this is on your shoulders. And I hope this guy sees this, me saying this as a reminder. You know, he's one of these guys like just... yeah, everything I'm saying, I ended up realizing, because I get excited, I ended up realizing that afterwards, right? He's just one of these kind of stooly guys, right? And then I see him sucking and hobnobbing all up with the fishermen, the local fishermen and stuff like that. And so if he's ever out on ticket day, because he wasn't on ticket day, he was on fisheries, he's on bait day, he's checking to see what people are using for bait. Probably you can still get fines, but he's just acting like... you know, just, oh, we're just doing a survey, see what bait people are up to, find the best, and all this kind of crap. So probably just right from the get-go bullshitter. But I'm going on pretty long here. There's a lot of stuff going on. Ask me questions. This is a great one to put questions on. Just skitter-scatter them throughout. Not that you're skitter-scattering them, but for me to find in my mess is hard for me to do. So I apologize. I like to be able to, like some of like I have some girls that are, you know, they kind of stick up for you and stuff, and don't necessarily respond to that guy and different things like this, right? There's one guy, I think his name, there's a couple of Ricks, but there is one Rick that's a Rick with a D. His name should be spelt with. But anyways, you know, and sometimes I still have to give my logical answer. Sometimes I give a smart-ass answer, and sometimes I just give an angry answer. But you know what? I ain't an angry person. I don't have anything to be angry about. I'm just living life, and I got 4 kids that I'm committed to, and, you know, and I look for my peacefulness and my happiness, you know, within what I deal with here. And even though I'm stuck in this world kind of by myself right now, it's still all right. You know, I told my sister, I said, you know, I've been trying to hold myself back, or I have been being better at holding myself back from dangerous elements, but she doesn't realize even my mild danger can be pretty severe danger if she was standing there, right? And my crazy danger is just downright insane. Especially after now, I know how they're willing to talk to me, right? And how they sound. And like I've told people, you know, the one sound that I was able to come and connect in with that sound was a bassness of, like, the deep in bassness of, like, what a lion does, the male lion. Like, the bassness was in with that, and it was just... And it was just like that. Like, I think that was the finaling thing that made me at that moment go, okay, I'm leaving then. But then, I don't know what it was, 30 seconds or whatever it was down the way here from it, I had went back into questioning it again. And the reason is because we need to know if it's going to kill. We need to know if it, like, why did it do that? Like, I'm saying that, people, why did it? I wasn't... You know, there's no fence there. It's not its yard. It's not a dog. It's not a lion. You know, it's something else that said to me, fuck off. This is in the middle of the night, human. This is my territory now. Go home. That's basically what he's saying. So I'm done. I'm going to rest myself and have some more tea here. Be cool. Accept. Just listen to my words, man. If you think I'm full of shit, then go away. If you think I'm not full of shit, leave your curiosity open. Just do that. People who fully are getting some messages and realize that the amounts that I may know or something like that, and they may know from their experiences, maybe they can see the realness of it. But I'm telling you this, I don't know if people are holding back on the hugeness of numbers, if people are holding back, stop that hold back. That one's got to stop. We got to get these numbers out, man. They are big fucking numbers!